All right, today I wanted to share an idea or some thoughts that I had while I was driving, and that is that plant people should be thinking ahead to Christmas right now. And yes, it's July. Here's two reasons why. Have you ever had a friend that's come over or a family member and you can tell they've sort of had a thing for one of your plants? They talk about how much they love it. They don't have anything like that. They're dropping hints, right? Or at least that's how I'm going to interpret it. So if you start propagating your plants now in July, then you can have a really nice homemade gift for certain friends, and it will be, really rooted. I know I think, okay, I'll just take the propagation in November, and it'll root and it'll be ready by December 25th. Or, sometimes with friends, you see them like you meet them for lunch like December 15th or something like that. So you have even less time. So, a couple things though, if you start propagating in October or November and you just go with like the window light in your house and you don't have grow lights, the daylight hours are going to be so much shorter. And so it's going to take longer for your plant to root. And maybe you even want it to have a couple of new leaves popped out so that it's not just some like sticks sticking out of a plant or out of the soil. You want it to be, looking better and fuller. So I would start now with taking propagations from your plants and either, water rooting them or putting them into soil because we have those daylight hours now. It's warm by a windowsill. If you put it on a windowsill, it's warm, it's not cold. So it's gonna propagate and grow faster if you start now in July. And then reason number two is maybe you want to thrift like a really cute pot or container to put the plant in. So that takes time, right? You can't just go out and find the perfect planter right then because, it depends on what the thrift store has. If you've been thrifting before, you know this. So this is your reminder to let's all start thinking ahead for the friends that we're going to gift plants to and start taking those cuttings now and get those, perfect plant accessories thrifted as well. So here's a couple of planters that I've thrifted that I think are super cute, and I just need to find the perfect plant to go in them, but they're really, really fun and won't take up too much space in someone's home. Okay, so I have these two little teeny, like cottage core type planters. I already tried to propagate something and it died, and so that's another reason that you might want to start thinking about it now because if your plant dies, like not all propagations take, right? So if your plant doesn't make it, you need to start propagating something else. Now, I also think adjacent to doing this for Christmas that it's always great to have a propagation of some sort on hand because it makes a nice housewarming gift or just a hostess gift if you show up to host or hostess, sorry, not to be gender specific. If you show up to some sort of event, like I feel like people are drinking less and less, so it's less common to show up with a bottle of wine. But, maybe you don't have time to make a loaf of banana bread or something. So a nice little propagation from your personal collection is just a nice little touch to, bring for Christmas or a birthday or just any reason. I gift plants to my friends all the time because that's basically my love language. But anyways, these are so cute. I think they were $1.50 each. And I'm gonna find the perfect thing for them. And then I found the perfect little mini hanger to go with them too. So let me show you. Okay, look how cute this little light blue planter is. This was not thrifted, but it was $7 at our local nursery. And if yours doesn't have this brand, that's fine. But this isn't something that I probably could have just gone out and gotten right away. I sort of just stumbled onto it and they go together perfectly. And so now I have a cute little gift for someone. I just need to find the right plant to go in here. Okay, this is another, it's not quite a planter, but I did thrift it for just a couple dollars. And if you know what that is, you know what this is. So these are little metal spikes in here, and this is a flower frog. So what you do is you take cut flowers and you put the stem on these spikes and then put water in there and it holds them up so they don't flop over, and it makes a nice little floral display. So something like this with some flowers in it would be really cute too. And again, I could have purchased one of these. It would have cost more, and the intent behind it, wouldn't have been as much. But again, I just stumbled onto this. This was actually underneath what I thought was a butterbell, and I've been looking for a butterbell for a long time. And when I lifted it up, I saw the spikes, and then I was like, oh my gosh, it's the flower frog. So, and I think I don't know who it's made by. So I think this was a gift for someone at one point, handmade from someone. It has these cute little designs. Okay, so this I thrifted as well, and I did have a plant in here, and it was growing for a while, and it wasn't doing very well, so I'd since taken it out. But it has these cool like knobs on the bottom, and it's very heavy. So if you have a plant trailing out of it, it's not just going to fall off of that surface like a shelf or a desk. So this is, it's got this gold rim. So this is another thing I've thrifted that I intended to use for plants, either for myself or it can be a gift now as well. This isn't thrifted, obviously, but they have these at the Lowe's everywhere, but they don't have them all the time. So if you want to put like a cute little plant in here to give to someone, which I think would be adorable, you need to keep your eyes out now for when they're periodically at your Lowe's. When I saw these, I grabbed like 5 or 6 just to have around. Off topic, they are food safe. So I've seen people also put snacks in here. So it could be a multi-purpose gift for your recipient. Okay, so that's just my quick little spiel about why I think, as an avid plant person, that we should be preparing for Christmas right now, in July even. And you're not going to go out and thrift something tomorrow. You might not get to the thrift store till August, or, even if you take your cuttings in a week, you might not be able to pot them up for a while. So casually start thinking about it now. That way we can send all these new plants off to our plant friends, or you can make someone into a plant friend, right, by giving them a plant. And then they'll always be like, oh, this plant was given to me by so-and-so. And if they move, or, you don't get to see each other all the time, they'll have that plant. So that is my advice for all of us plant people here in July. And I am anxiously awaiting my plant shipment from Unsolicited Plant Talks. Okay. They had a drop on Friday, and last time I missed out on this particular Hoya, and this time I got one. So stay tuned because I'll be doing an unboxing of that. I can't remember the last time I've purchased from them. It's been a long time, but I'm very, very excited. It's sort of a newer hybrid of one of my favorite plants that I already have. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time.